Hello everyone, this is Meenakshi Birari, working as a assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. From last few lectures, we were discussing about the second unit, that is sugar and fermentation industry. In previous lecture, we have studied the manufacture of industrial alcohol from molasses. Now, in today's lecture, we will study the manufacture of industrial alcohol from food grains, fruits and hydrocarbons. We know that ethanol, also known as ethyl alcohol, drinking alcohol or grain alcohol, it is flammable, colorless, mildly toxic chemical compound and is best known as alcohol found in alcoholic beverages. Ethanol is also used as a good solvent. It is used as germicide, beverage, antifreeze, fuel, depressant and chemical intermediate. Ethanol can be made by the fermentation process of material that contains sugar or from the compound which can be converted to sugar. So in previous lecture we have studied the manufacture of ethyl alcohol from molasses, which is one of the byproduct of sugar industry. Industrially, ethyl alcohol is manufactured from molasses, from food grains, from fruits and from hydrocarbons. So already in previous lecture we have studied the manufacture of industrial alcohol or ethanol from molasses. Now in today's lecture we will study the manufacture of industrial alcohol from food grains, fruits and hydrocarbons. So let's see in detail. First of all, the manufacture of ethyl alcohol from food grains. We know number of food grains which are useful for the manufacture of alcohol, that is rice, wheat, barley, maize, etc. To obtain ethyl alcohol from food grains, the number of steps involved, these are: first malting, second mashing, then fermentation and fourth distillation. So let's see the steps involved in the manufacture of ethyl alcohol from food grains. First step, that is malting. What is malt? Malt is one of the main ingredients and is obtained from barley, which is subjected to a process of germination under controlled conditions. This operation, called malting, causes towards the end of the production process the development of carbohydrates and nitrogenous substances by the enzymes formed during the germination process. Varying conditions during the malting process, that may be temperature, humidity, etc. It allows different types of malt to be obtained, giving different colors and flavors to the beer. So what is malt? Malt is nothing but one of the main ingredient and is obtained from barley. Malt is prepared from the barley by soaking it in water, allowing it to germinate for 20 days and drying it carefully under regulated conditions, forming a malt. Although malting is an integral part of brewing process, it is only rarely carried out in the brewery. It is mostly carried out in a separate industry. So to germinate the malt, it requires about 20 days and after that drying it carefully under regulated conditions. And malting is only rarely carried out in the brewery. It is mostly carried out in a separate industry. So it is the important step involved in the manufacture of industrial alcohol from food grains. Now the other unmalted cereals. Of unmalted cereals normally use that is corn, which is very common. The oils are extracted, then it is milled and called grits. Barley, rice or wheat may also be used. These cereals are used to reduce the percentage of proteins in the wort. Unmalted cereals give the beer a lighter color and specific characteristics according to the type of cereal chosen. So, malt is prepared from the barley by soaking it in water. Also, the unmalted cereals normally used, especially corn is very common. The oils are extracted, then it is milled and called grits. Also, barley, rice or wheat that may be used. So, these cereals are used to reduce the percentage of proteins in the wort. So, that is whole process called malting. Then next, mashing. What is mashing? The malt contains a considerable amount of starch and small amount of sugar together with the enzymes distage. The malt is then crushed and mixed with hot water, and raw grain, that may be raw grain of rice, wheat, barley, maize, etc. or potato starch is then added. Then the temperature is maintained between 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. As a result of fermentation process, it occurs in presence of enzyme diastase. Starch is converted into maltose and malt sugar, and the whole process is called as mashing. So, in the fermentation, in presence of enzyme diastase, starch, that carbohydrate starch, is converted into maltose and also the malt sugar. So, this process is called mashing. So, what is the reaction involved in the mashing? Here, the starch is converted into maltose or malt sugar in presence of enzyme. So, what is the molecular formula of starch? That is C6H10O5, 5. Number of 2 starch molecules when treated with NH2O water molecules in presence of enzyme diastase, the starch is converted into another sugar, that is maltose, having the molecular formula N number of C12H22O11. So, starch is firstly converted into maltose. Then maltose sugar is further converted into glucose in presence of enzyme maltase. Yeast that secretes the enzyme maltase. We know that fermentation of sugars take place due to the fact that the yeast secretes not only the zymase enzyme but also the enzyme invertase and maltase. Therefore, this sugar maltose undergo the hydrolysis in presence of enzyme maltase and is converted into glucose, having the molecular formula C6H12O6. So, 2 molecules of glucose are formed by using this reaction. Then glucose undergo the hydrolysis in presence of zymase enzyme into ethyl alcohol. Therefore, glucose is converted to ethanol, 2 molecules of ethanol having molecular formula C2H5OH with liberation of 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, CO2. So, here the fermentation takes place in presence of enzyme diastase and starch is firstly converted into maltose. Further, maltose undergo the hydrolysis in presence of enzyme maltase gives glucose, and glucose in presence of zymase enzyme converted into ethanol, ethyl alcohol with removal of 2 carbon dioxide molecules, CO2 molecules. The temperature is maintained between 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. So, these are the reactions involved in the step mashing. Now, the next one, that is fermentation. After the completion of mashing, the sweet liquid or wort is then transferred to a fermenting tank. To this wort, yeast is added. The enzyme maltose present in the yeast converts glucose into ethyl alcohol and CO2, carbon dioxide, and small amounts of higher alcohols, succinic acid and glycerin, that are also produced during this process. So, alcohol is produced by the action of zymase enzyme, which is secreted by the microorganism known as yeast. It should be noted that all sugars cannot be fermented by zymase. Cane sugar and maltose are not fermentable with zymase, but fermentation of the sugar takes place due to the fact that the yeast secretes not only zymase enzyme but also the enzyme invertase and maltase. Therefore, here the starch is converted into maltose and maltose is converted into glucose. Further, glucose in presence of zymase converted into ethanol or ethyl alcohol with removal of carbon dioxide or CO2 molecules. So the enzyme maltose present in the yeast converts glucose into ethyl alcohol and CO2. Then the next step, that is distillation. Here the ethyl alcohol is separated from the mixture by fractional distillation method. Then Scotch whisky is prepared from barley malt. Here fractional distillation is useful to separate the mixture and ethyl alcohol. The Scotch whisky is prepared from barley malt by using the distillation of mixture in the fractionating column. Now we have to study the another method of manufacture of ethyl alcohol from fruits. Now we have studied the manufacture of industrial alcohol from molasses and from food grains. Now next to that, manufacture of ethyl alcohol from fruits. Wines, these are prepared by using the fruits. Wines are prepared by fermentation of fruit juices. The cheap juice is that of grapes. There are different types of wine which are classified as natural wine that contain 7 to 14% alcohol. Fortified wine contain 14 to 30% alcohol. Sweet or dry wine, and still or sparkling. So there are the different types of wine depending upon the percentage of alcohol. These are also classified as natural or fortified wine. Types of wine: red or white wine, rose wine, table wine, sparkling wines, desert wine, fortified wine, cooking wine, etc. So in next lectures we will discuss about the manufacturing of wine, wine making, and the types of wine in detail. So these are the types of wine depending upon the alcohol proportion. To obtain wines from grapes, that also involves the different steps. These are preparation of must, then fermentation, ripening, and bottling. So the first step is preparation of must. Here the grape juice contains glucose, fructose, and various acids like tartaric acid. The skin of the grapes contain tannin, various essential oils, or a coloring matter. When grapes are crushed in the crusher, all above materials come into the juice. The seeds and part of the stems are removed. The juice extracted from wooden roller or crusher is called as a must. So that is the first step, preparation of must. Simply the juice extracted from wooden roller or crusher, which is called as a must. Second step, that is fermentation. The must is first fermented into ethyl alcohol. After first active fermentation is over, the new wine is filled full into casks, which are loosely closed in order to prevent the conversion of alcohol into acetic acid. It is kept for 3 to 4 months. During this period, the yeast settles down and tartaric acid along with various salts and coloring matters separate out as a argol. It is then filtered. Argol is a crude tartar which is produced as a byproduct in cask by the fermentation of wine grapes, and it is used as a mordant in dyeing, in the manufacture of tartaric acid, and also in fertilizers. The must is first fermented into ethyl alcohol. After first active fermentation which is over, the new wine is filled full into cask. Now what is cask? It is nothing but a large container like a barrel made of wood, metal or plastic, and it is used for storing liquids, typically the liquids like alcoholic drinks. Then the conversion of alcohol into acetic acid occurs. After that, it is kept for 3 to 4 months. During this period, the yeast settles down and tartaric acid along with various salts and coloring matters separate out as a argol. Argol is also used in fertilizers, in modern dyes, etc. Argol is a crude tartar. It is then filtered, and the next step, that is ripening. Here the clear wine is then allowed to ripe for 2 to 4 years. Now we should remember the duration for the ripening, that is about 2 to 4 years. During ripening, tannin and some other impurities are precipitated. In this period, alcohol and fuel oil react with acids present to form esters. These esters give characteristic flavor to the wine. So ripening, it requires about 2 to 4 years. The clear wine is then allowed to ripe for about 2 to 4 years. Then the next step, that is bottling. After ripening, the wine is bottled. The quality of wine varies from place to place and varieties of groups. So these are the steps involved in the manufacture of industrial alcohol from fruits, which are preparation of must, fermentation, ripening and bottling. Now let's see the manufacture of ethyl alcohol from hydrocarbons, especially by the use of ethylene, how ethyl alcohol can be produced. So this process also involves two routes. First one, liquid phase hydration. In this process, first ethylene is absorbed in concentrated H2SO4 forming ethyl sulfuric acid, also called ethyl hydrogen sulfate and diethyl sulfate. So what is the reaction? Here ethene or ethylene reacted with H2SO4 gives ethyl hydrogen sulfate. These ethyl hydrogen sulfate and diethyl sulfate on treatment with water hydrolyze to ethyl alcohol and H2SO4. So ethyl hydrogen sulfate hydrolyze in presence of water, hydrolysis occurs and there is the formation of ethanol with removal of H2SO4. So regenerated H2SO4 is again used for the further reaction. When we consider one molecule of ethylene reacted with H2SO4, formation of ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Also, if we take the reaction ethyl hydrogen sulfate plus second molecule of ethylene, it gives the formation of diethyl sulfate. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate reacted with water give the formation of ethanol, whereas diethyl sulfate when reacted with water, it gives the formation of 2 moles of ethyl alcohol and removal of H2SO4. So the reaction is same. Alkene or ethylene reacted with H2SO4 first give the product ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Further, ethyl hydrogen sulfate hydrolyze to give ethanol. But in this process, one of the drawback, what is that? During this process, some ether is also formed as a side reaction. If we use the excess amount, then ethyl hydrogen sulfate reacted with second molecule of ethyl alcohol and there is a formation of diethyl ether. So ether will be formed as a side reaction if we use the excess amount. So if we take the 2 molecules of ethanol in presence of concentrated H2SO4, it forms diethyl ether with removal of water. Also 1 molecule of ethyl hydrogen sulfate reacted with 1 molecule of ethyl alcohol in presence of H2O, there will be the formation of ether, diethyl ether. So that is the drawback. Some ether is also formed as a side reaction. Now the second process, that is gas phase hydration. Here water adds to alkene in presence of proton donor or acid supported on a carrier to yield alcohols. So for this reaction also drawbacks are there. So what is the reaction? Ethylene reacted with water in presence of proton donor, there is a formation of alcohol. So alkene reacted with H2O in presence of H plus form the ethyl alcohol. This reaction is exothermic and is favored by low temperature and high pressure. The conversion is also favored by high ratio of ethylene to water. If this ratio ethylene to water is increased, the conversion is also favored. That means that will give the maximum conversion of product. So manufacture of ethyl alcohol from hydrocarbon, this process involves 2 routes. First one liquid phase hydration and second one gas phase hydration. So in today's lecture we have studied the manufacture of industrial alcohol from food grains, from fruits and from hydrocarbons. In next lecture we will study the manufacturing of alcoholic beverages. Thank you.